have you all here. We look forward to Tuesday nights. There's several of you already popping on quickly here. It's great to see you. And we're excited about our guest tonight. We actually have one of our guests from Maine.
Yes.
We're from California. And our other guest is from Australia. So
we're going to talk about that in just a minute, because it's kind of been a unique month for us,
if
we
great.
lay it all out. So this is really good.
I think we should just go ahead and bring them on and
well, listen, we'll do that. We're excited for you guys to join us. Make sure you hit the comment button, hit the share button to bring your friends into this. And if you're watching this and have never joined into the comment chat section, we just encourage you to do that tonight. Let us know where you're from. And let's just have some fun tonight.
Yes. Good to have you all on here. Let's go. Whoop. There's Adam and there's Beth.
So we're going to pop in with Adam Brusa from Maine and Beth Kennedy from Australia. I think, Beth, you're from Melbourne, right?
I am from Melbourne, Australia.
Yep. Awesome.
This is so fun. We were talking earlier, like we're covering the earth.
Hey,
all the spots, right?
Adam is up at 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock his night. It's 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for Beth. So she could already tell us what we've already experienced.
That's right.
That's why she's so excited.
Future's looking amazing. It's only good. It's only good stuff to come.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right. 2026, we're ready to go. We're already almost a month and a half in.
Yeah, we are.
And it's going fast, but a lot of good things are happening also. Some of the rough patches, but God is also doing mighty things in the earth, isn't he?
Always.
Yeah. Amen.
I like the fact that no matter what is happening, in the earth, that Jesus is still sitting on the throne next to his Father, and Holy Spirit is still here as our helper. So regardless of any of the stuff, regardless of who wins the Olympics, who argues for this, who does this or that, our friends are still on the throne and still in charge.
Love that. Love that. Yeah.
Amen.
Yes.
I just want to say hello real quick to our friends, Warren and Kelly from Idaho, popping on with us. And we literally will be with them in Idaho tomorrow.
We will. By 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we'll be in their car driving from Spokane back over to Sandpoint, Idaho.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to joining with the church family there called Harvest. What was the full name? Harvest
Valley.
Harvest Valley in Idaho, and connecting with our friends that we have met years ago at Kingdom Connections, and getting to know their church family and just seeing what God's going to do there. So we're super excited. And one of the things that we'll be doing is we'll be speaking at a couples Valentine's banquet, and we're dressing in.
Don't say them. Okay, go ahead and say what we're dressing in, but we won't tell them what
we're dressing in a 20s attire. So kind of a jazz club 20s attire. So we already got our fun outfits. Mark got a tux.
Hey.
Oh. I'm fired.
Wow.
Well, I was so excited about it because he got this tux. Come on.
Yes.
He got it at an estate sale. He went into the bathroom, tried it on. It fit him like it was made for him. This gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful tux. And for $20, it's like, yes.
It was made in some fancy haberdashery in San Francisco, probably 40 or 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And it just fit like it was tailor-made for me. It was awesome.
And he looks great in it too. So anyway, we're going to have fun with them. And it's just going to be a great time. We're going to get some skiing in.
Okay.
I'm going to speak with leaders, and just it's going to be a great time.
Skiing is my language. Yes.
There's got to be enough snow there, though, too.
Yes.
I thought it was coffee, Mark. So is it skiing and coffee?
Both. Yeah.
It depends. If the snow's out, then the coffee is secondary.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. Yep.
He does love his coffee, though.
You're right. So we have Kasha. Kasha is on with us tonight. Is Kasha one of y'all's friends? or is she new to the
Can you
broadcast?
see her name? Kasha I can't see the last name very well.
Jankowski.
Jankowski.
Yep.
Does that
Yes.
no? Well, where are you from, Kasha? Let us know where you're from. We're glad you're here, and good to meet you.
Now I saw Mike Kennedy come through here. Is that any relation to Beth?
No relation, but one of my students. He's
Ah,
actually just
Cool.
come off the call. He's amazing. So just great. So
awesome.
hungry. Very, very hungry for the things of God. Just
Well, Mike, welcome to Eagle's Nest. We're so glad that you're here. And Corinne, it's always good to see you. You're faithful here every single week. And there's a Hyacinth
Yeah, Vassell.
Hello,
Now
everyone.
you said hello,
DMV.
everyone. DMV. I'm not sure what that is. Do you guys
Yes,
know what
hello,
DMV
everyone,
is?
DMV. Let
I
us
know what that is here. That's the Department of Motor Vehicles, but I'm
It's
sure
the
that's
same
not
thing.
what she means.
I doubt that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, listen, let's jump into our conversation tonight because, we've been talking with our guests throughout January and even into February
Mhm.
About what their sense is for 2026. And so, what's happening. So we had somebody on one of the weeks that talked about the difference between, your life being urgent and filled with urgent things
Mm,
as opposed to strategic things.
so good.
So
And
they felt like the Lord
learning
was
the difference.
learning the
right?
difference.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
it was
so,
great.
yeah. So Adam, what is what's happening in your world? What are you pouring over?
I mean, that's a great question, and I guess as an opener, first thing I want to do is just give honor, Mark and Tammy, to both of you, honestly, and to just say your leadership, your unbelievable kindness. You are some of the easiest people to just be around, and
Oh.
not just how you make me feel personally, but I watch you guys walk around rooms with hundreds of people in them, and I see you guys drop just joy and kindness, and what a depth of, some people are really good extroverted, but you guys can do that, and then you can whittle down and just listen to the whispers of people. So I just want to say, you guys are heroes. So I'm so glad to be here
Wow.
with you guys. And Beth, by the way, I know you asked me to say something, but can I just plug Beth? Beth,
Sure.
Sure, absolutely.
can I just say, this is what I think. I think she's just brilliant, Beth. She is so brilliant. I just had the good fortune of reading her book, and I don't know if she might talk more about it. It is a phenomenal book with amazing, amazing content. I mean, I really feel like she is an architect for health, and let me say, an architect for health in the future that I think many people are.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm honored to be among champions here. So thank you guys for letting me kind of share some space with y'all.
Oh, well, Adam, that's not hard to do. And, you're such a brilliant, happy, joyful encourager. You shift atmospheres everywhere you go. It just cannot stay the same because you just bring so much joy and so much wisdom. And you can turn on a dime and be laughing and having a great time, and then turn towards a person and prophesy over them, encourage them, pray over them, and see their life transform. It's so cool to watch that dynamic and watch you move from, ha 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 to, okay, let's talk about this. And in the kingdom, it's like that.
Yeah,
I
is.
mean, that dynamic is there.
Yeah.
And we just appreciate you. We're so thankful that we have the privilege of getting to know both of you and spend time with you. And we thought, what a fun broadcast it would be to have you on together, because you're such good friends and we're such good friends. And we thought that would be really fun.
Yeah, really fun.
Yeah. So thank you guys both for being here. Appreciate it so much.
It's just awesome to be here. And I guess, speaking of, it's so funny how you're framing this, to turn kind of to just lean into this, because Mark asked me hey, what do you feel like God's telling you for 2026? And I guess the framing would be that we all have a part, right? And I think that that's actually deeply liberating for us, and
It is.
gives us such value, right? Because we all do have a part. And I did take it to heart and spent time really thinking through, like, on a gut level. And I won't share very long, but in a few minutes, I could share for an hour. Like, I could preach the leather off a Bible with this stuff. But I think that how this hits me, I'm just going to tell you, is I was over here making a coffee before I got on. And I know it's late, but I was making a coffee, and this hits me at a gut level, what I'm about to share with you guys. And just this piece that I see, and even the little things that you guys have said, I haven't seen some of these other speakers that you're talking about, but I think that there's going to be some resonance. And so here's a little bit that I see. I have noticed a pattern in my life. This is not a pattern that I celebrated. To be perfectly honest with you, this is a pattern I felt like was a defect for me until I had clarity, until I learned that there was actually significance in what I felt like was struggle. And here's what it is. I've often seen myself walk through situations that I thought were about me, and I came to find out later that actually multitudes of people were walking through those situations, and would be walking through those situations. Yeah. And it's not something I've asked for. Like, when I tell you this, I'm saying I've spoken to hundreds of thousands of people, and doing that over the years, it's like, this is just a pattern. And I believe that this is a pattern because it's a preview of what God's doing to a wider spectrum of his people. And my word for 2026 is clear, and it's simple, but it's dynamic. Here's what it is I've prayed into it. Here's where I feel the weight. I feel the weight on this word, establishment. I feel like this is a time not for hype, not for chaos, and not for waiting for the next big wave. I feel like establishment is where it's at, because my belief is that God is calling his people to build foundations that they can stand on for the next decade plus. And to me, establishment means it's part of a 5-spoke framework. This is just how I have it right now. I'm obviously not going to go into great detail because I want to be honoring of the time, but I just want to say that, like, my 5-spoke, clarity on what this means is: number 1, awareness. Number 2 is hustle, or you could call it holy hustle. Number 3 is reforming. Number 4 is intentional design. And number 5 is courage to proceed or to advance. Awareness. People are waking up to what's not working. This is what awareness is to me. It's being aware of, like, hey, this isn't working emotionally, spiritually, financially, right? So it's like in Luke 15, it's like when he came to himself, right? The prodigal, when he came to himself, right? So, and I think, like, hustle, when I talk about hustle, that's not busyness. It's not being frantic. This is engagement. This is about being willing to participate in your own formation. And that, to me, is part of this reformation, right? And I think I don't know about you, but I've looked at it this way for decades. I've looked at the thesis. I've looked at Pentecostal history and biblical history, and said, and I kind of had this idea that was framed within the almost even Renaissance artwork framing in my mind of these pictures of people, these great reformers. But what if I just say our willingness to participate in our own formation, and we make it really practical? Like reevaluating what we've inherited, where we've been so happy to just accept what we've been given, the place that we've been relegated to, the existence that we have accepted and celebrated, the way that we've perpetuated average and tried to pretend it was amazing because we dulled down our senses and dumbed down our opportunities. To me, this is part of what I feel like we have an opportunity to kind
Yeah.
of throw out and rebuild. And, intentional design to me is where wisdom meets the spirit. It's what Proverbs 24 says, that by wisdom we build the house. And then, the whole courage to proceed
Right.
is like activation. Like, hey, the whole thing about courage to me is like courage it is prophesying, it is speaking, it is living, it is reframing and rewiring our minds so that we can actually step into the thing that we are terrified of, or that we
Yes.
hope is God, or that we believe is the seed of our destiny, but we haven't actually wrapped action with it. We haven't cleared the path yet. And because what just hurts my heart is to think of how I just feel like that there are so many people that have the seeds of what God has for them, but they don't have a plan, they don't have a community, and they don't have a pathway. And as a result, seeds that are genuine seeds of the picture of heaven are left there dormant, just like a seed in your pocket. It'll never produce a tree. It'll never garner fruit. And even though it has life in it, it has to be, like Jesus said, planted in the soil of our heart, which is we're the soil. So that's just kind of some of where I'm thinking through. And so I'll just kind of like pause there. But what do you guys think?
Wow.
I'm glad I have a hat on because my hair would be blown back like yours is.
Yeah, one of the things that was hitting me when you're talking about the courage part, well, all of the words were incredible, but courage is unto something. Like you said, you don't just have courage to have courage. Courage is motion. Courage is to do something. Courage is to move forward. And it brings life to something. So it's what you're saying. I think part of what you're saying is that you get to be involved, to participate, and to partner with the forward motion, because the courage is there to move in and to take the seeds and to plant the seeds. And I mean, to till the soil, plant the seeds, water the ground, tend to the crops, and then have the harvest. So it's all it all works together unto a harvest, unto fruit.
That's so good. Woo! Wow.
It is so good.
What do you think about all that, Beth?
Well, I mean, Adam speaks
your mind.
Adam always speaks my language. So firstly, I want to say ditto to what Adam said about you both, Mark and Tammy. But what people that are watching, like I know that there's some people that'll be on my feeds that'll be watching right now. They don't know Adam and they don't know Mark and Tammy well. But Adam is one of those most amazing people where he has such an apostolic focus, and he functions from a profound heart of love. He flows with the heart of the Father whilst shaking your cage in such a way, and then he says, now go. So this is why I love him so much, because we all have a purpose. We need all hands on deck.
Right.
It's no longer are we to be observers of what's happening. We are to be participants. God is all about relationship first. So it's got to be relationship. I was literally teaching this like less than an hour ago. Relationship first, and then we step in and we flow. So we gather, we train, we grow, and then we go. And then we take it out. And taking it out is not just holding it in the four walls of the church. And what I'm seeing in 2026 is actually something I've been seeing since 2008. I'm actually seeing the outflow of what God was showing me in 2008. And Adam talked about living a word and living this message. And I teach from our mess, give it a bit of age like fine wine. We then get our message from our mess. And we live through these seasons. You're like, why me? Why am I going through this? And it's only with looking back and being grateful for what God has done that we see through the lens of love, and we start to recognize what it is that God has actually been building within us. That to take out and go and flow with.
Mm.
And it's not a job description. It's an adventure with God. He doesn't call us to a job description. He
so
calls us into relationship. And it's the best adventure you can imagine. It's so much fun. And I know, Mark and Tammy, you live this. I've watched you. I've spent some time with you. I've lived in the same house for a week with you. You know, you ooze this stuff. You know, this is why Adam and I want to interview you. But it's that whole you flow in this, which is so beautiful, and you have ways of wisdom. So I feel that we are in the decade of readjusting, refining. It's not 2026. It's the decade that we're in.
Right. Yes.
We're in the Hebraic year of the 80s, and 8 is a new beginnings. So it's also the decade of the mouth as well.
Yeah, right.
So we've got it. There's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of noise. We have to focus on what is my lane, and we need to run. We need to literally run with it, because we get exhausted running here.
Right.
There. But we also need to learn how to be responsible with our prophetic words, with what God's telling us to do.
Yes.
Don't do it. You know, since it was prophesied over me in 2011 about my books. Now, if I never wrote, now it's books, so I'm writing my second one, but if I never actually wrote the book, it wouldn't happen.
Correct.
I needed to step in and do something with what God was telling me to do.
Yeah.
And it takes boldness. Yeah, even last week, I said to God, I want to retreat with all this noise, because I'm highly sensitive. I feel stuff, you know, and things like that. And he's like, no, people need your heart and they need your voice. So I'm stepping out and saying to other people, come along and come forward, step into your place and your purpose, and run, and encourage other people to do it too. What is coming is a wave of his presence that is so profound that we need to be ready so that we can actually pour forth into the new people that are coming. I led a cousin to Christ 2 weeks ago who passed.
That's awesome.
He had 2 weeks, and he sobbed as it came upon him.
Yeah.
I was positioned there for that moment. If I didn't open my mouth, nothing would have happened. We've just got to. I've got so much to talk. My book, my first book and my second book is about what we're in now. It's actually the plan, purposes, it's the prototype, and it's the blueprint. I actually have a complete blueprint about what God is saying to the body, and about what we need to do, what we need to build. But it's got to be relationship first.
Absolutely.
We've got to empower people to learn how to recognize his voice and develop in our discernment. You know, the Hebrews 5:14, the solid food is for the mature, who by way of practice, training, in safe community, have learned to discern good from evil. And then get out there and do what he said. My sheep hear my voice and they obey me.
That's it right there in a nutshell, right? Just boom.
I think for all of you that are watching this, I think that, you know, one of the things that's emerging in this time period that we're in, you're actually witnessing right now on this broadcast, and that is the release and the elevation of mothers and fathers of faith. And you're seeing that right now with Adam, and you're seeing that with Beth. As they're stepping into these things, these are roles of maturity, but also roles of wisdom. Require a lot of wisdom from God to know what to say and when to say it and how to say it. But these are roles right now that are becoming more and more necessary in the body of Christ. We believe,
Definitely.
than having a fiery preacher on a Sunday morning. These are roles that are not to negate that. That's important too. But but you know, having a mother and a father, not just a mentor, but someone that can mother you, father you. They're much more than mentors. And so they know how to come alongside. They know how to be encouragement when you need it. They know how to be a correction when you need that. And, you know, in the body of Christ, you know, I just remember coming up as a young believer, and I needed, you know, a lot of correction. I was enthusiastic, but man, I had to run right into a wall, you know, just in my enthusiasm. And You know, and it took some of my, my crazy friends to, hey, Mark, yeah, that was great. But that face plant right there, you could have avoided that if you'd have just tied your shoes. You know what I mean? But this is the role of the mother and the father. And that's what we're going to start to see emerge. And we're seeing it right here with you guys. So,
Well, and
hey.
but sometimes a mom and dad need to let you do the face plant. I mean, there are lessons in that. Like you will never do that face.
You won't
plant
do that again. You will tie your shoes.
And not every time. There's times to take your hands off. There's times to put your hands on. There's time to always to pray and always to love. Those two things. Love, but
it's the heart of the prodigal father. Yeah, it's the heart of the prodigal father. So the heart of the prodigal father blesses the children that leave, saying, I know better. I want my inheritance now. They go and squander it, and they understand. See, Adam talked about this when he was speaking. They come back. The prodigal comes. We're so often, like I've been the prodigal, not that I've ever left, but I'm like, I know better.
Yeah.
And so we go. And then it's the heart of the prodigal father, though, doesn't punish because you didn't follow what they told you to do.
Right.
But releases you to learn and then gracefully says, I love you.
Yes.
And in the arms of the Father, there is more inheritance. He thought he had it all. He thought he'd squandered his inheritance.
Right. Yeah.
But there's always more.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't ever squander what there is because there is always more. Back in the arms of the Father, but with good prodigal mothers and fathers, they will come back. Yes, okay, you learned. Yes, I get it. Yeah. And then let's keep on walking. Let's keep on growing. So it's the heart of the prodigal father that we actually need as much as people to return.
It's funny, Beth, I've renamed that parable in my Bible. And that might not be appropriate, but that's what I do. And so I've renamed it the parable of the benevolent father. It's because to me, it's not the story of a wayward son. That's a common story. What's not very common is to have a benevolent father who is consistent and kind, and that is the image of God, himself. And I love that conversation. I mean, it's so powerful. And it's I think that there's also coming and not so much in like, I think there's coming another kind of dimension of revelation. And I do not mean this in a spooky way. I mean this in a very real way. I'm saying that we have made some things. I love the mystical, but I'm talking about fathering right now. And like, our perceptions are really in need. It's like we have such spiritual anemia sometimes because we've held on to an image that doesn't actually bear fruit, but it has position. And as a result, we know how to behave, we know how to attend, we know how to show up, but we don't know how to live in the absolute abundance. I've said it once and I'll say it 1,000 more times. Jesus did not come to make us, quaint little quiet church people.
Cherubs.
Right. He didn't come to do that. And I love where his emphasis is. The emphasis is not for me to talk about personality type, because whatever personality type you are, Florence Littauer, I think they talk about the choleric and the sanguine and the phlegmatic and the melancholy. Every personality is beautiful in its dimension. But the idea is that we grow to discover that, hey, we have some stuff that we're supposed to rise up to, and to recognize the heart of a father. And it's never to diminish the kids and yet that's kind of the cult. To me, that's charismatic chaos going off the rails, but still working. And I'm not trying to be controversial here, but I mean, I think it's fact to say that the enemy of the next greatest things that heaven is unfolding is the current thing that's working. And so often it's like this shift of, of reality. And this reality is just about stepping into a healthy version of having people to be fruitful and to be healthy and to be loved and valued and cherished and to grow strong and to not just be mamby-pambies, but to be destiny adventurers and to be establishers of the goodness of heaven, to be people who reform the world. And somebody said, I remember when I was a youth pastor, used to say, the generation that doesn't conform to the world will be the one that actually changes it. And yet at the same time, when I heard prophets like Kim Clement, who I really admired as a young man, and I thought I would share stages with them, but Jesus got them before I got to be on stages with them. And I can remember, I can remember recognizing that like what heaven's doing is not teaching us how to isolate, but that is what religion does. But Jesus didn't come to have us to isolate, but to have us to learn how to integrate, to have us learn how to be the leaven within society that causes the goodness, that causes it's the essence of heaven baked into the bread of humanity. And, it's kind of like the whoops, there it is moment, And Beth, I just want to show you here, look, because these are my notes, right? So I want to show everybody here, like this part here. Okay. Because I didn't say it yet, but you talked about what?
The decade.
The decade of the empowered.
Wow.
1 year. No,
you didn't say the word empowered, but you did say a decade of what the Lord's forming. And I really do believe that, this is like community matters more than ever because, listen, this is not celebrity Christianity. You know what? That will be around forever. Because as long as there's flesh, there's going to be flesh happening.
True.
But what God is building is communities of strength, communities of courage, communities of love, communities that form people and not just inspire them, but safe places that can actually hold people's hearts, and that can grow with them, and that can do the dimensions of what a static church movement can't, which is to father and mother and raise and release people from babies to reformers out in their own life and celebrate them the whole time. Steve Harvey said this. He said, man, when my father died, it destroyed me. And the reason why is because I never had another man. And most of you will never have another man in your life that will celebrate everything that you've got going on, every achievement that you've made in your life. Many times it's cutthroat and competition. It's like, if we got the promotion, then they didn't. But your father always has your back. Your dad always wants that for you, a good mama, a good father, somebody that has that heart. And so, just celebrating with you guys.
Wow. There's a little bit of fire there. I like what Warren says. He said it's kind of bottom lining what you're talking about, I think, is that he said he puts a robe on his back and a ring on his hand, pulling the sun into identity. And that's what you're talking about is walking with people, helping people to know and see and walk in their full identity and destiny as they were created to. So that was a beautiful example of that.
It's a totally good example. One of the things that strikes me, you're talking about everything you're talking about is in the church is made up of families. So once the service is over and the pastor's done, the father and the mother step back into a place of actually raising the kids all during the week. And I think that's what we're seeing more and more of is our spiritual moms and dads that are just hanging out with their spiritual kids on a day, on a basis that's pretty regular. That's not a church oriented thing. This is just it could be for coffee. It could be on the telephone.
Life.
Yeah. Life stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I feel like I need to release this on this live now, which is this. And I'm with you guys. I just want to say this to you, and I mean this. Okay. Remember how I framed the beginning of my talk? Sometimes I walk through things, and listen, this isn't an Adam-centric thing. I'm just trying to connect to you authentically. But I want to say to you that you may have the same kind of things happen to you, or other dynamic things. You might have, I feel like there's people that are watching that you have dreams that frame the realities of your life. And I'm saying that to you in faith because I want to honor you. And I want you to know that the diversity of what heaven is doing is absolutely not only critical, but it is incredibly glorious what God is doing in your life. And I just want to share the lyrics of an old song. It said this, ready? This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Can I just encourage you? Let your light shine. If you're a dreamer, then dream the dreams. If you're an architecture, then let it happen. Come on now. If you're an intercessor, then get before the throne with joy. If you're a dancer, then dance your dance. Come on, somebody. Like, come on. If you're a coach, then coach. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're a hunter, get out there and hunt and worship God. And when you come home, love on your family extravagantly, incredibly. And I just want to say this. You haven't missed it.
Yeah.
You have not missed it.
No.
I mean, I keep hearing people say this to me. They say, Adam, you're not too late. You're an early adopter. But I want to tell you that in my heart, sometimes I'm like, I think I missed it. But I want to tell you, you haven't missed it. You're not behind. This is the year. Look, this is a time. This is a moment. You haven't missed it. It's not too late. And so,
So good.
yeah, I mean, guys, we're
Arise and shine, right?
So just receive that
For
for
your
all of
light
you
has come.
that are watching now, that will watch in the future.
Yeah.
When you hear this come by, just take it to heart, because this is really, I believe, the heart of the Father just being released and poured out right now.
Amen.
Absolutely. So it's fascinating though, because I mean, Adam was talking about competition and the concept of competition, and we all feel this at different times. It's like, oh, they got the opportunity, so I won't. And the one thing, but we're talking about living the message. One of the things that God's really shown me is that, I mean, firstly, competition is not kingdom.
That's right.
That's the thing. He doesn't want cardboard cutout Christians. He doesn't want cookie cutters. But the other thing is that if we really understood who he created us to be, we wouldn't want to be anybody else.
True.
Like we wouldn't want to be, and we wouldn't want their opportunities.
Yeah.
And if it gets shut that we truly believe was for us to walk through, and this has happened a number of times to me, he'll open something else. You've just got to trust that if that doesn't work, because sometimes our destinies require cooperation from other human beings because we are called to be in community. When other human beings don't necessarily cooperate with what you think, and you might get it wrong, but what you think is the purpose of the life, he will create another opportunity for you to step and through the door. It's like he's a God of endless opportunities. And the thing is, I can guarantee you, if you will step into what he is asking you to do, celebrate others and encourage others to run their race as you run your own race, only looking to the left or the right, to encourage, not to criticize, not to condemn, not to compete with. If we do that, the acceleration on your destiny will be so extreme. You'll be going, God, slow it down. I'm not ready yet. I can't cope with how much is happening in my life.
Yeah.
And there's an ebb and a flow. So it's like you ebb, so you flow, and then there's a quietness, and it flows forward, and then there's a quietness. There's a beautiful rhythm with the kingdom of heaven.
Amen. Yes.
And then you learn, you develop that capacity. It's actually the most wonderful time to be alive. And if we learn how to gaze upon the Father, Adam has a different understanding. Tammy and Mark, you have different understanding to me of the Father. And the light that his face shines upon my face is slightly different. And then I'm just called to go out and be me. And in being me, I will actually shine my light, which is his light.
Yes.
What he needs in the area that I'm located in Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah.
And I will be what the people around me need to be just by being me. And I will, that's how I allow my light to shine. And more happens by accident. I've had people approach me on the street and say, what are you? who are you? There's a light coming out of you. When you walked past me, I felt something.
True.
More happens by accident than on purpose when you're saturated in the goodness and the presence of God. But I want to say to people, you do need to open your mouth, for if we don't tell them of his goodness, how else will they know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's so, so good. Wow, Beth. And, I was just seeing this picture of, when we compete and we compare,
Mhm.
which we have all done that.
Yeah.
And you have to push yourself back into focus. But when we compete and compare, we're looking to the left and we're looking to the right because, we're seeing somebody do something we should have done. We think we should have done, or they're doing it better, or they're
Mm.
whatever it is.
Mhm.
We're always looking to the left or to the right. So we're not staying focused. We're not staying in our lane and staying focused, like, setting our face like flint to the face of God. And it takes away, it's a distraction
Yeah.
that takes us away. And it causes, like, even when you're driving in your lane, in a car, if you just even kind of look this way, your car will go a little bit that way. You have to stay straight ahead, watching the traffic flow, and stay in your lane so that you're not going to crash into anybody. And when we're competing and comparing, that's kind of like what we're doing. We're
Mhm.
pulling over this way and we're pulling over that way, and we're not staying in the lane, staying focused on the face of God.
I just
That
think
was
about
really good right there. That was
well, you actually create an accident situation if you really focus on.
do.
That's right.
You end up crashing. And I think I think children are some of the best teachers. And I watched my son have an opportunity to dance with an international ballet company that my daughter desperately wanted. And she sat and she wept and she said, I so wanted to do what he's doing, but I'm so proud of him.
Right.
She sat there and she was so pleased for him.
Right.
That is I want my children to celebrate each other. I don't want them to tear each other down in my own family. And so
Amen.
too, God.
Yeah.
So too, God. He wants us to celebrate. And when we feel that little niggle of jealousy or competitiveness, we need to work out what's going on the inside of our hearts.
Right.
We need to deal with it because we have no time to muck about because it's all hands on deck, which is
That's right.
coming back. We've got to train. We've got to get ready, gather, train, grow, and go is what we are being called
So
to do.
good.
And we've got to stop throwing stones and doing all of that and just get out there and get on with it. There's billions of people
Right.
here about the goodness of God.
Beth, there's so much of what you said, not just then, but even on the other time. I just, even when you were talking about rhythm, right? The rhythm of God. And it's like, there's such wisdom, I believe, in what you're saying that is so important. This is not important just to memorize. It's not important just so that we can regurgitate back. It's important because if you understand rhythm, you won't condemn yourself when you're out of breath.
Yeah.
If you understand rhythm, you will give people grace for the moment that they're at and remove the frustration of soul that is welling up within you just because you actually don't understand the moment that somebody else is in the moment that you should be in. And you framed it with one of what I think is just like a Magna Charta, which was that if we know who we really truly are, then we don't want to be anyone else. That is so powerful.
Yes.
But I'm gonna kind of tie this up like this. I have a backpack, and it's just a backpack. It's not a 6-foot backpack. It's not 20 foot wide in there. It's just a backpack, right? And I've put every item in there. There's a computer in there, and there's my wallet and some pens and all that stuff. But it's amazing how I can reach in that backpack, sure that I'm going to pull out the item that I'm looking for, only to have my hand fish around in there and I can pull up what seems like everything known to man: a fishing pole, an alligator, a baseball hat, right? How did that even get in there? Like, I don't know if you ladies can relate, but I'm saying, I pulled out the Cadillac. That would be a good one. I mean, like, you can't even find stuff. And then the light will dawn on me, usually out of frustration. And what will I do, y'all? Instead of reaching around in the dark, I will expose the contents to the light of day. And it's funny that even though my hand can feel, when I put my eye on line of sight, I can immediately find something. My hand now becomes the thing that opens up line of sight so that I can correctly locate what it is I'm actually looking for. I want to say that the locations, the ecosystems of heaven have to do with relationships and community, because they help you to see the light that's within them can illuminate the thing that you're looking for, that you're frustrated and can't find. And community can spot, detect, and give understanding and clarity for the thing that just doesn't make sense and that maybe you've given up on, but that actually is right in your backpack. You have it right there. It's nigh you. It's even in your mouth, that word. But community is so very important, because it gives us access to things that we wouldn't see on our own. And so I think that in the context of this decade of, empowerment, this decade of, of like Beth has a really cool, succinct way of saying, I don't know, it's something, it's like connect, grow, all that stuff. What does it, Beth? Say it again.
Gather, train, grow, and go. It's like a mantra for me. It's gather, train, grow, and go. Because it's not to yourself. It's about gathering unto a purpose so that you can then grow. But then, for goodness sake, take it out. Go do something with what you've learned.
Yeah.
Right. Don't put your car in the car park, going back to Tammy's metaphor. But also, don't compare and crash into others. Stay in your lane. Work out what your lane is. You need community to do that. You need other people to be calling out what's in your backpack, saying, "Hey, you can't see this about you, but this is your superpower." Half the time, our superpower, it seems so mundane and ordinary that we don't realize it's a superpower until someone else goes, "Did you know that whenever you do this, it just brings me along?" And you go, "Oh, really?"
Yeah, that's special.
I
just do that.
I like what you guys are saying. I wrote a note down here. It says, my note says that we spend so much time eyeing somebody else's community that we lose track of celebrating the community that we're in.
Whoa.
Yes.
And so I really do think that is like what you guys are both saying, is that God's placed us somewhere. Every believer gets placed somewhere. And in that somewhere, if you'll start to step in and say, and just pray these prayers, say this as you step into your communities, wherever they are. Lord, where is my community? Who is my community? And how can I get engaged better with the community that you've given to me, instead of sitting here eyeballing Tammy's community and wondering why I'm not included in hers? Yeah.
And in actual fact, that's in 2021, God showed me that, we couldn't be going back. We can't go back anymore. We can't go back. We can't turn the clock back. 2020 was a pause, and 2021 was the clock was moving forwards again, and there was no more resisting. And he told me at the same time, he said, his net works. We don't network. He works the nets. Let him network you into the community that you need to be. When you find your community, plug in, make connection. And what I actually saw was this beautiful, vibrant, glowing, golden net wrapping around the globe, and it was just vibrating. There was points of connection. When you find the community that you need to be in, be there, serve, do what it is that you're meant to do. Don't compare. You don't need to network your way. You will need to allow him to show you what network you need to plug into. Let him work Let him network you, and then he will work the nets. There's no rush either. I saw him as a fisherman sitting, leaning against a overturned boat, beautiful boat, and he had this Chinese hat on, and he was sewing this beautiful net on the shores where he was about to cast his nets. And he was singing, and he was in no rush. He's healing the nets. He's sewing the nets at the moment. So we just need to do what we are called to do, position ourselves in the community that we're called to be. He will cast his net because his net works. And when we find those places, vibrancy and life and power and just everything will just start to happen. It'll just all start to come together. And I think that's the thing. It's just, we don't need to rush it. We need to be all hands on deck, and we need to be intentional, which I love. I loved it when I actually did see that live, Mark and Tammy. Intentionality is key at the moment. I think it's always key. Be intentional about where we spend time.
Yeah.
But don't feel like you have to strive.
Right. Because striving is you.
Striving is you doing it. Position yourself, step forwards, even if you're feeling challenged, which I find challenging. I find it challenging to step forward sometimes. But allow him to open the doors. He wants you to step through the doors of your destiny more than you want them to be open.
Definitely.
He does.
He's so desirous of you fulfilling your kingdom design. It's just he created you.
That's right.
You're a masterpiece created for a purpose.
That's right.
For time. So why would he not make sure that you're going to fulfill it? You've just got to say, well, he's saying yes. We need to partner our amen. And our amen by stepping into, stop resisting and just do what he's asking us to do.
Can you imagine how crazy it would be if you go, like Tam and I had a chance to go to Paris a few years ago, and we went into the Louvre, and we got in this line that was a crazy congested gang of people all trying to squeeze into this one room to see a painting that's this big. It literally is this big, and it's called Mona Lisa. Can you imagine in that setting all of those other paintings and sculptures in the Louvre going, gosh, I wish I was Mona Lisa. Gosh, I just wish I was Mona Lisa. I'm sorry I was just created by Michelangelo. Who the heck is that guy anyway? This painting that's on the ceiling that's so ornate and beautiful. I just wish I were that little painting that's an 8x10 Mona Lisa. I mean, it would be chaos in the museum. And here we are as believers, and we're so frustrated sometimes because we're not somebody else. And I really believe that this is what leads so many people into being disappointed, disillusioned. It leads all of those things.
And derailed. You become derailed.
Yeah.
Those are all catastrophic events. As soon as you become disappointed, then disappointment brings in all of its cousins. Yes. And once that all happens, you turn away. Your whole face is looking at these things that are disappointing to you instead of turning around, putting your back toward disappointment and looking at hope that is hope that's on the other side of the spectrum. And so I think this is where we are this year. I mean, we're wrapping up this whole episode here, and I think we're just the Lord's saying, "Hey, be you, concentrate, go back and re-listen to this broadcast and re-listen to the 5 spokes or awareness, hustle. Come on, whoever put hustle on it as a spoke? Hustle means like get up and do something. Do something.
Do something.
and reforming. I love that. In what is it? Isolated.
He can't read his own writing.
Wow, something designed and courage to proceed. This is amazing. This is a great broadcast to go back and listen to because this is packed.
It's got a lot.
These aren't just packed with nuggets, man. These are gold boulders that are flying through here. Yeah, so good, you guys.
So encouraging.
God's so good.
Go ahead, Adam.
There was you guys had I felt a really strong vein that you guys had about kind of exposing and putting down this unhealthy, poisonous competition, right? This idea. And I think you guys are really chopping at the very root of that, and that tree's falling down. And I just, there's a song by James Taylor, the singer-songwriter, and part of the lyrics of this one song says, "It's enough to be moving on. It's enough to be it's enough to be moving forward." And everything that I think we've outlined today is we're outlining and we're architecting, but the menu is awesome. But man, you got to eat the food. So you got to taste it, see it. And this is, we're architecting menus. We're talking about concepts. But the fact of the matter is, and Beth said this, it is we got to train. We have to have a safe place where we can connect, and that we can actually be known, that we can practice, because the identity of heaven is exposed to us from the mirror of the prophetic, from the mirror of hearts of love that love us. And I remember years ago, this is like 20 years ago, I had a dream, and it was of this tree. And the tree, it was a gorgeous tree, like probably a big maple tree, and it was turned upside down, and all of the roots were exposed, and all of the leaves were in a coffin underneath the ground. And the Lord said, what do you think that is? I said, I don't know. And he said, this is the way my church is today. The way my church is that we're celebrating the apostles, prophets, teachers, and leaders while we're killing the people and keeping them away from the glory of my sunshine and my rain. And the people walked around the base of the tree, and they were going, "That's my apostle, he's mighty." And they were saying, "That's my prophet, he's amazing." And they went, "Yeah, but you haven't seen my evangelist. He can, he's amazing, or you haven't seen my bishop. She's unbelievable." And then the Lord showed me this, and it was a tree that was upright. And he said, who gets the rain first? And I said, the leaves. And he said, that's what I've always designed for my people. He said, who gets the sunlight first? I said, it's the leaves that get the sunlight, the glory of your sunlight. And he said, yes. And then he took me down to the root of the tree, and I saw apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher on the trunk of the tree. And he said, I have a supply for them that is made special for them underneath the foundations of the earth. But the whole point of those is so that my people would flourish. And so I just felt like when you guys were talking, to re-share that. And I think that maybe is one little image in the context of the wisdom of Beth and the amazing hearts of you guys, to maybe have just an exploratory anchor to ask Holy Spirit about. And again, I'm very pro-church, and I'm very pro-prophet, apostle, pastor, teacher. I'm very pro that. I am that stuff. But guess what? The onus isn't on us. Like, in other words, it's not about us. It's about the glory of God. We're working for him to push people up into their destiny.
Yeah. It's about the glory of God right there. The presence of God, the glory of God, the goodness of God, everything about him.
Whew.
That's the bottom line.
Hey, Beth, you have some final thoughts for us, Beth?
We have 1 minute, and this has gone really fast.
I think, people are like, how do I find my community? How do I do this? How do I do that? Just ask God. Celebrate the community that you're in and serve. Like, whatever community you're in, regardless of whether or not you see issues with it or not, serve, pray, bless, and God will honor that. Look at your community with gratitude. And from that place, he will then open doors. He's not going to open doors to a whiny person. He will open doors to someone who's grateful for the community that he's given them.
Amen.
And gold in his people. And from that place, he will then say, okay, but look for somewhere to plug into. Look for somewhere to plug into, celebrate it, and move forwards. But everyone's got a destiny. Everyone's got a purpose. But I want to say, it's actually primarily about time with him, relationship, presence. So if you do nothing else and you take nothing else from this,
that's right.
Learn how to practice his presence. Spend time with him. Learn to recognize his voice, because from that, all else flows. Get ensconced in his love.
That's
Understand
right.
he loves you, and then his love will flow to you and then through you into the world that you walk about in.
So good. The presence of God is what gives life to all of the other things,
Exactly.
you know, and it gives godly life unto everything that we've talked about. And it's so foundational.
Mhm.
It's that foundation that everything else is built on. And, you know, he loves you spending time with him, and you love spending time with him. So,
Mhm.
you know, we just want to encourage you in 2026, even all this incredible things that we've said here tonight, so powerful, so transforming,
Mhm.
is that God's presence is in you. He
Yes.
abides in you and you abide in him.
Yeah.
And so he's not far away like sometimes it might feel. He abides in you and you abide in him. And so just rest in that. Do your life from that place, in the intimate, the secret place, being with him. Call on him, and then just let you see what opens up for you. It's just amazing what that foundation will do for your entire life.
So I just want to say thank you to Adam, and thank you to Beth.
Thank you so
You
much.
guys are amazing. And
Wow.
this could have just gone on for easily 3 hours, you know,
Yes.
just exploring where we've been. So this has been amazing.
Wow.
And again, I saw one of our, Corrine said, yes, I saved this video.
It's fire, she says.
Yeah. So listen, you know, last week, it's funny, but last week on the broadcast, we had Izzy from
Australia.
Sydney.
Yeah.
Tonight we have Beth on from Melbourne, Australia, along with Adam from some
Maine.
Saskatchewan, something or other in Maine. Sketchawatchahani in Maine. And next week we have Mark Crawford on with us, and he's from Tasmania, Australia.
Wow.
And the week after that, we have
Roma
Waterman on with us. So we have hit the 4-week stretch here with the Aussie Impact.
Isn't that funny? And that was not strategically planned by us anyway.
No.
No, well, you'd be picking up at something. A word I have over Australia and New Zealand is that we have the Anzac, which is the Australian New Zealand Armed Corps. We actually have an Anzac Spirit, which is a breaker anointing for this season. So there is actually a sound coming out of this region that the rest of the world may not be bold enough to say. The rest of the world actually needs right now. And this is why we need Australians to stand up and stand tall and release what they carry.
Wow.
Amen.
Wow. Well, that I can see that the impact of that without even realizing it.
Man, this is good.
Janice, hi from BC. This is such a sweet surprise. Thank you for this. And thank you, Jane, for your comment. Mark and Tammy, you all have the spirit of a father and a mother.
Yes.
For faith. So thank you for that encouragement.
We've had some great comments in the comment section, and I apologize for not getting to more of those, but thank you all for stepping in. I like Kasha that listed the spokes that Adam had brought up. She got those all down. Joy Archibald, thanks for jumping in here with us as well.
Wow.
So listen, we just want to celebrate all of you guys, what God's doing in your lives. Adam and Beth, thank you so much for dropping in. Actually, you know, this was they came in as a save me guest.
Well, we thought anyway. God knew.
I had miswritten down who our guest for tonight was, and when I was connecting with him, and he goes, "Well, that's interesting because I've written down next week," and then he sent me a screenshot of what I sent him.
Scheduling faux pas that we didn't know about.
So thank you guys for just jumping into this, because this has been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it was definitely a good choice, and you can see how God works in all things. You know, this is right for tonight. This is right for tonight.
Right for tonight. So we'll say good night to Adam and good day to Beth.
Thank you all, and thank you all for listening. We look forward to seeing you next week with Mark Crawford.
Good night, everybody.
Have a great week.